Hi, I'm Joel Grimes, and we're going to look at choosing the right modifier. Well, you got to admit that when it comes to choosing the right modifier, it's a bit of a mystery. And I've been doing this for about 35, 40 years, and there's a lot of things that have changed over the time, but it is kind of confusing. I mean, there's so many options that it's like, where do I start? Well, you need to figure out where you want to end up. And that's difficult because you say, hey, I'm kind of confused. I don't really know where I want to end up. But here's what I do, is when I look at an image, I say, do I like this or do I not like it? And so when I'm creating an image, I'm building and I'm asking that question, do I like where I'm going or do I not? And so I change my modifiers based on what I like. So that's the first thing. Number two is that when it comes to choosing the right modifier, if you think about this very simple little rule, and that is, the bigger the source in relationship to the subject, the softer the light. So if I want to soften something up, I get a big source, move it in close. If I want to harsh it and give a little more contrast to it, give a little edginess to it, I get a smaller modifier or back it up. So that's my basic rule. So we're going to talk more about that, hopefully, as I look at these modifiers. So if you look over here, I have a 7-foot umbrella, silver umbrella. That's a huge modifier. And so if I move that, say, in close to my subject, it's going to make a big source, which gives me a soft light. Even though it's silver, it's still going to give me a big, soft source. Now, if I put a diffusion on it like this, it's going to be even softer. And so I use this a lot, this silver umbrella with this diffusion on it. And in fact, this is, I call it sort of the poor man's octo, and it is literally the exact same quality of light as I get out of the 7-foot octo. Now the difference is, if I'm going to use this light every day, and that's my signature key light, then eventually I probably would pick up an octo because it's going to last you longer and it's going to be a little more durable, especially if you go outdoors. But it's a gorgeous, soft light, and I shoot a light into the umbrella bouncing back through the diffusion. Now here we have a 36-inch rapid box, which is really my go-to light, especially in the field. It's super lightweight, it's easy to set up, and especially if you put on a boom, there's just the lightweightness of it makes it really easy to, you don't have to do a lot of counterweight on it. And it's a gorgeous light at about 3 feet from my subject. So there's a lot of pictures that I've been posting lately with this modifier, and it's kind of like an overhead beauty dish kind of look. And I just absolutely love this light. So you can take this and it will bounce back into your silver and back through, which is very much like a beauty dish, and get a great source of light coming through there. Now, if I want to soften it even more, I can either take this out, put a inner baffle with a diffusion, and it becomes a gorgeous, soft light, and I use this a lot. Now, here we have the new Zeppelin. This is a 35-inch deep sort of parabolic modifier, and this is brand new. I use this with the inner baffle like this, and I use it as an overhead source, and it becomes a great sort of like beauty headshot or beauty fashion light. And so there's a bigger one out there that I've been using, which is a 59-inch, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I put it right over the whole camera and me, just like over the top, and it's just about 15 feet, 10 feet from the subject. And then, of course, we have rectangular softboxes. I've been using these for 25, 30 years. And the one thing that I like about the rectangular boxes is that I can put a grid on there. And primarily I use a grid to minimize flare coming back into my lens. And I shoot a lot of wide-angle lenses, especially zoom wide-angle lenses. And so having the ability to put a grid on your source is a great option. It also does kind of narrow things down a little bit in terms of your angle of view of your light coming from your source. So there you have it. The bigger the source in relationship to your subject, the softer the light. So choosing your modifier is based on how soft do you want that overall look or how harsh do you want it. You can pick your modifier based on that.